Hello people, welcome to my channel, welcome to my first video after the international break. Yes, I don't do any videos during the international break as I don't have many ideas, but anyways, this is my Chelsea versus Cardiff City preview for the game which will be taking place tomorrow at Stamford Bridge at 3 PM in the Premier League. So what I'm going to do for you guys is that the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to give you my lineup, which will be broken down into the formation and then the personnel. Then I'll give you my score prediction, and then I'll give you some statistics to back up why I've gone with that score prediction, and I'll give you a bit of insight into where Cardiff are and yeah, just how they're doing at the moment. But into the formation, it's pretty obvious what Maurizio Sarri is going to go with. He's going to go with a 4-3-3, so that's what I've gone with too. In terms of the personnel, I'm going to do this nice and quickly, and I'll give you a recap straight after. I've gone with Kepa in goal. I think he's been pretty good in his first 4 games. He hasn't had too much to do. He's only conceded 3 goals so far, and he has organised his defence pretty well. So I've gone with Kepa in goal. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his surname. I'm still learning it. But in the back 4, I've gone with Cesar Azpilicueta, Antonio Rudiger, David Luiz and Marcos Alonso. Some people do argue that Emerson should start ahead of Marcos Alonso and that Andreas Christensen should start over David Luiz. I'm not entirely sure about the David Luiz and Christensen saga, but Marcos Alonso and Emerson Palmieri, I would like to see Emerson at least on the bench tomorrow, because we need to have a backup left back on the bench in case Marcos Alonso does get injured, unless Maurizio Sarri was to move Cesar Azpilicueta to that left hand side role. But yeah, that's the back 4 I've gone with. I do see why people want Emerson and Christensen to start, because they're both really good players, but I don't think that Maurizio Sarri is going to pick them over David Luiz and Marcos Alonso. In the midfield 3, I've gone with Jorginho. He's key to our crazy passing stats so far, and he's been really good. He's got 1 Premier League goal already, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets more. So yeah, I've had to go with Jorginho in that deep line playmaker role. Just ahead of him, I've had to go with N'Golo Kante and Mateo Kovacic, because those 3, that triangle, is easily our strongest midfield, and arguably one of the strongest midfield combinations in the Premier League, if not the strongest. Let me know what you think about that one below. But in the front 3, on the right hand side, I've gone with Pedro Rodriguez, because he's been brilliant. He's been playing really well under Sarri's new system, and I think that when he came on against Bournemouth, he changed the game. What a wonderful goal that was, and it opened the floodgates for us, because oh my gosh, it was really hard for us to break Bournemouth down in that first half and for the majority of the game. But if it wasn't for him, then we wouldn't have won the game 2-0. So credit to Maurizio Sarri, and Pedro definitely deserves to start in that role. On the left hand side, it has to be Eden Hazard. I'm not even going to go into too much detail, shall I say. We're going to need him to help us break Cardiff down, because they're most likely going to sit back and hit us on the counter, or try to anyways. Up front, I've gone with Alvaro Morata. I think he's been getting a lot of stick recently. He hasn't been at his best in the last 2 games, but he hasn't been worthy of some of the criticism he has been getting in the last 2 games, as in the last 2 games we've had to face teams who are playing a back 5. So that obviously means that he hasn't had a lot of space to work in, and it's especially so when the midfield lines and defensive lines were so close to each other. But yeah, that's the lineup I've gone with. To recap, Kepa in goal, a back 4 of Cesar Azpilicueta, David Luiz, Antonio Rudiger and Marcos Alonso, a midfield 3 of Jorginho, Mateo Kovacic and N'Golo Kante, and a front 3 of Pedro Rodriguez, Alvaro Morata and Eden Hazard. Now for the statistics. In terms of our average goals scored per game, we've scored 2.5, and in terms of goals conceded, we've only conceded 0.75 on average in the last 4 games, whereas Cardiff have conceded 1.25 goals per game, and they have a goal scoring record on average of 0.5 goals per game. This is based on the 4 games that have been played, so yeah, that's bound to change. In terms of passing accuracy, it's obvious that Chelsea's is by far superior to Cardiff's. In terms of passing accuracy, on average in the last 4 games, our passing accuracy sits at 88.75, whereas Cardiff sits at 64.25. and we've also made a lot more passes on average in the first 4 Premier League games of the 2018-19 season, with us sitting at 748.75 and Cardiff sitting at 276. So hopefully our passing stats hopefully our passing ability helps us break Cardiff down. It is going to be really hard, but yeah, I've gone with a 3-1 Chelsea win. Cardiff are not a pushover team. They aren't doing the best by any means whatsoever right now, but don't be surprised if Cardiff do score. That's why I've gone for a 3-1 Chelsea win, because I do think we will win, but it won't be easy. So do not underestimate Cardiff. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all very soon. Come on, you Blues, and peace. Please beat Cardiff and get 5 wins out of 5.